what goes into choosing how you like what props you use, the quality of them? Like, how do you sort that out with all of your other tricks?
Yeah, so there are some companies that have been around in the magic world that so the weird world of magic is that magicians, we as much as we are like performers, we're also like really like inventors. And as being like our own little inventors, when we create magic, there becomes almost like a marketplace between amongst ourselves where we trade and sell each other secrets and props, right? So if there's like a cool, I think a cool trick that maybe David Blaine does that he has done on his show, 9 times out of 10, somebody in the magic community created that trick for David so he would do it on his show. So then what I would do is if I saw David do it, I would maybe call the guy that I know that created that magic trick he's now letting people do it.
Right.
Maybe I have a cool spin on it that I want to give. If I call him and I'm like, hey man, will you grant me access, or will you, you can pay for it. Some people will, create their own lecture notes and you can buy their lecture notes. And because they're selling you the actual tangible idea that's written in these lecture notes, once you've paid for it and it's in your possession, you in a way, you've gained access to that secret.
Right.
And then you can go and do whatever you want with it. Now, there are some guys out there that they've created businesses out of this, meaning like when David Copperfield wants to put a big illusion in his show, he goes out and finds one of these guys and they build it for him. Now, are they just going to build one for David? Some of them, sometimes yes, but sometimes they go, well, if it's good enough for David, David can do it for a period of time. Great. It's seen television. Now there's a whole slew of guys that want to try it or do it or so then if they build, a really cool illusion, you can then have them build it for you and you get your hands on it. So it's kind of a give and take of ideas and your art, the art that you want to present to your audience. So there's so many ways to put together a magic show. And that's what's so fun about being a magician and picking and choosing the content.
Right. So like even though these are like, they look like household, whatever, right? Household items. They're actually not that like they're trick or whatever, but they're specially made to kind of be.
Sometimes they're not. That's the amazing thing about magic. Sometimes I can direct you to a piece of magic that is done by Teller of Penn and Teller, right? He does a piece on stage. It's simply a vase on stage with a rose.
Mm-hmm.
There's a white sheet behind him, and there's a light, and they're casting a shadow onto the vase and the rose, onto the sheet. And he simply takes out a knife and he makes little gestures at the sheet of the shadow, and then it becomes real. And the petals from the rose fall off the exact same moment, or the leaf falls off, as he cuts, So it's like there are so much magic out there that it can be done with almost anything, right?
Right.
And sometimes, yes, it can be very, very elaborate, and sometimes it can be almost so simple. And sometimes the simple stuff, like just the shadow and a knife, just those simple little things can almost be more impressive than anything you can do that's elaborate.
All right. So this is
when you're ready for an elaborate trick, I will close with one for you.
All right.